Good morning. Hi. Welcome to practice. Another day. Another day where we can create compassion and beauty in this world. Occasionally, if you go to an Orisha practitioner's house in whatever tradition, you'll find that they sometimes have a statue of Guanyin where there would like on their Oshun altar. And that's because within, it's not like, oh, it don't we can't get it twisted like, oh, Guanyin is the Asian Oshun, or Oshun is the African Guanyin. That's not it. But it is that they both hold a tremendous tenderness and compassion for all beings. And so occasionally you'll see a Guanyin statue that's been placed on or near an Oshun altar, or you'll see that somebody who honors Oshun also has statues of Guanyin in their home. And that's because it's to really highlight this similarity in their sweet compassion for all beings. So let's remember when we honor Oshun that we are honoring that same virtue of compassion that we find in Guanyin. I bow to Oshun. There is nowhere that it is not known that Oshun is as mighty as a king. She dances and takes the crown. She dances without asking. She arrives and trouble is appeased. She shakes her bracelets to come to the dance. She dances in the depths of richness. The water sounds like the bracelets of Oshun. We call to her and she answers with wisdom. She can heal what the doctor can't. The Orisha who heals with cool water. We can stay in the world without fear. Today's card is the Bee Guardian, honoring, reverence, and love. You are part of a new wave of bee-centered guardians on Earth. You work with the bees, not making them work for you for the rewards or gifts of their hive. You can see the greater honeyed web of life, and you are blessed with a hive of hardworking sisters who love you. To enter this sacred place, permission is granted to those whose intentions and hearts are ready and willing to expand to greater consciousness, to become a complete beginner and relearn, reclaim, and remember a previously forgotten lineage. Her story, the overriding cosmic bee goddess, weaves and threads into the web of consciousness in our universe. Well, I wouldn't say that we're new. I think we're the ones who've been here this whole time, quite honestly. I think there is, an unbroken thread of Earth stewards who have done their best to try to preserve and protect even that which corporations and governments have really put in danger. But I think that our sense of agency in what we can do is limited by the powers that be. When we are driving down the side, down the road, and we can see on the side of the road that there are dozens of beehives being loaded off a truck to pollinate the almond groves and then put back on a truck, thirsty, exhausted, hot, dry from being in those almond groves just to go somewhere else. It is like kind of watching the bees being trafficked, honestly. It's as if you're watching human trafficking, only it's bees that are being trafficked. And this is part of the reason why I try to steer clear of almond milk, or to just eat, organically grown almonds, because I've read a lot of articles about how the almond milk kind of trend has made it so that the bees are going out into these spaces and they're not being treated well, and they're exhausted and they die in great numbers. So I think if we are to be bee guardians, we have to really look at where in our own lives, in our own diets, in our own practices, we might be contributing to harm. I switched over to oat milk because almond milk is bad for the bees and soy milk is bad for my body. I do my best to plant. I actually just did yesterday, planted 7 new plants for pollen that are specifically for pollinators, for them to enjoy. I don't want anything from them. I'm not going to take anything from them. We don't have an extractive relationship. We have a holistic relationship. And I think having a holistic relationship with the beings of Earth is the way. I think having an extractive relationship with the beings of Earth is problematic. So if we're to be the guardians of the Earth, then let's really pay attention to how our practices, diets, and habits might be either contributing to or extracting from these tender Earth guardians, the bees, our friends. That's our short bit for the day, if that's what you were here for. And now let's dive into Guanyin practice. We're going to start with 3 prostrations before the shrine of Guanyin. And don't worry, Lisa, I didn't know either until I read this article about a year ago. And I was like, whoa. And it basically said that drinking almond milk is like sending bees to war. And I was like, oh no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to hurt a bee. So, I really like I really like cashew milk. I really like flax milk. I really like oat milk. Oat milk is my favorite. I love hemp milk. That one is really good. There's so many other types of plant-based beverages that we can drink that don't harm the bees. So glad I mentioned it. Okay, let's start with Guanyin. And let's take refuge. Namo Guru Be. I take refuge in the inner teacher. Namo Buddhaye. I take refuge in the great mother of compassion. Namo Dharmaye. I take refuge in the wisdom of the ages. Namo Sanghaye. I take refuge in the community of practitioners. And let's set our intention for our practice today. And it's May 18th, which is an interestingly important day of many different people's birthdays in my world. Ninette, Dragonfly, and now Brian, who works at the Sacred Well. So we're going to hold all of those folks whose birthdays it is today, as well as Anna, who had an eye surgery, and anybody else who's been going through it. And let's recite the four immeasurables. May I be a source of loving kindness in this world and all worlds, bringing a generous heart to all my thoughts and doings. May I be a vehicle of compassion in this world and all worlds, ever mindful and aware of the tremendous suffering of others. May I be a brimming vessel of joy in this world and all worlds, delighting in the happiness of others as their suffering is alleviated. May I be a balance point of equanimity in this world and all worlds, seeing all as equals and all as deserving of goodness. Let's make our offerings. I did water bowls already for another practice, so I'm going to skip water bowls today, but they'll be back tomorrow. I light this candle as a symbol of the enlightening Dharma way. May it shine brightly for the benefit of all beings. I light this incense as an offering for Guanxi Yin, she who hears the cries of the world, mother of all. Reverently I prostrate with my body, speech, and mind, and present clouds of every type of offering, actual and virtual. I confess all my destructive actions accumulated since beginningless time, and rejoice in the meditation of all holy and ordinary beings. Please, Guanyin, remain until the end of samsaric existence, and turn the wheel of Dharma for sentient beings. I dedicate my own merits and those of others to the great enlightenment. 108 recitations of Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa, honoring that tender planetary guardian that lives within each of us, and thinking about how we can hold all beings in the greatest possible compassion. Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa. Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxin 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 Pusa, Namo Guanxi Yin 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 Pusa. And the Brief Wind Horse Practice of Tara by Patrul Rinpoche. Lume choksum chidang jetsun ma gyayum pakma drome jintu yi daki tsetso paljro nyandrak nam yarnu dadang yarji soshindu kepa kaje wangtang lungta nam nyampa soshin chetu gawa long chije lekpe lamdu drowa dang tsering nime dedang denjur shi. Through the blessing and power of the unfailing Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, and of Jetsunma, Mother of the Buddhas, noble Tara, may our lifespan merit prosperity and renown, increase like a waxing moon, like a rising summer lake. Especially may our good fortune, Wangtang and Windhorse, be healed when they weaken, rejoined when interrupted, raised up when sinking down. May whatever we do turn out well, and may long life, good health, peace, and happiness be ours. Lume choksum chidang jetsun ma gyayum pakma drome jintu yi daki tsetso paljor nyandrak nam yarnu dadang yarji soshin du kepar kaje wangtang lungta nam nyampa soshin chetu gyawa lang chije lepe labdu drawa dang sering neme dedang denjur shi. And now 108 recitations of Om Mani Padme Hum, sending out our compassion to all beings, all who need it, all who are suffering, and even those who aren't suffering but maybe are having their birthday today or some good thing that's happening, but who still might benefit from a little extra boost of good energy. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 And let's give thanks for our teachers. May all of my blessed teachers enjoy long, happy, healthy, productive lives and great support for their good works. May all beings benefit from their wisdom. May they enjoy a swift and happy rebirth. And long life prayer for Lama Dechen Yeshe Wangmo. Om Sosti. Through the powerful blessings of the immortal Pema Jungye and his consort, may the three secret qualities of the Dakini of Supreme Bliss, Yeshe Wangmo, be utterly stable, and may the light of her activities shine on the lotus groves of the teachings and of beings, so that they blossom in radiant splendor. And we'll dedicate the merit. May the merit of this practice and all of my activities be of endless benefit to all beings in all realms, beginningless and continuous. May all obstacles be overcome and suffering cease at the sound of liberation. May all beings be free from suffering and its causes. May all beings have happiness and its causes. May we carry the essence of Guanyin in our hearts. Namo Guanxin Pusa. And we close with a bow to Guanyin, bow to one another, and a bow to the inner teacher, and wishing you a wonderful day of being a guardian of the earth and all her sacred creatures. Thank you for posting your counts, and I'll be back tomorrow. Bye now.